Ah, usual spot. Show video, yes. Seems like the usual spot anyway. Close enough. Yes, out and about. So, yeah, see if there's something new. Yeah, something new to say about life. I guess not. So, never mind. Yeah, no, it's just always trying to find a new way to say it. The angle on it. So, I did watch another movie. This one wasn't bad. But you hate to give it any credit because it was a little, it was just wrong, in so many ways. It went too far, however the right way to put the words are. Well, anyway, I get to it. The Cloud Atlas thing. And could have been a much more enjoyable movie. Had they not, used certain, maybe somebody wrote the book this way, and so they felt the obligation to do it that way. But all the Arkansas talk or whatever the fuck it was, the whole cannibal thing and the little whatever. I could have done without that. The ending was just so nothing, sappy, yuck. And at least for that segment of the ending. But this idea. Well, anyway, so lots of stuff like that. There were parts of each story that were pick-onable. Some of them were okay. They did them quite well, actually. It's just mostly the Tom Hanks parts that sucked. Funny. Anyway, so it's this theme that I like, this idea of people, it was sort of directly preaching the message, that we are connected, quite directly, in our lives, to, at minimum, the interconnections between, I don't know. See, it's making this more direct connection. So, the statement goes too far, so I can't use the words it's using and agree with them. But, I would argue that there's a pattern of identity, and that pattern has components that you could put in categories, and there will be many people in the category similar to you. They'll fill the same notches on the form, and the same boxes will be checked in terms of what they are, what they identify with, and what they would, who they would be. If just given the slightest chance to live in your world or near your world, that they would, many of them, fall into this almost an identicalness in terms of how they'll react to you, love you, hate you, that kind of thing, understand you. And that we ought to just get with the program here, that it goes, even if there aren't, every box isn't checked, even if there isn't that kind of real I see you kind of thing happening, where you get people in a complete way. The truth is this basic struggle we can all get. We can all understand. There really shouldn't be as wide a gulf of understanding. It does seem preposterous that you could, have a relationship with a dog or a cat that's more substantial than your ability to relate to, half or most or 80% of animals of your own species. Why is that? Why is it that most dogs and almost all cats, are more I see you. You can I see you with them easier than you can with with people. And you can turn that into, I don't know what animals you want to go all the way to say that same statement about, but I think it goes back all the way to the idea of the thing that drives people away is the dishonesty, not the honesty. Animals are honest. They play you square in terms of they react to your reactions. It's not entirely true, right? An animal can be mistreated and it will mistrust you. So that's certainly true. But it, generally speaking, mistrusts you from a fear point of view rather than some sort of aggressive point of view. But then you got dogs in a pack or something, and that goes all wrong. So dogs become, kind of, as bad as, the worst of humans. When you put them in a group, and give them visceral passion, give them need, hunger, anger. Yes, I mean that's a good example of how the subtlety of the going wrong and how it goes wrong and why it goes wrong. Usually, I guess there is a cause, something that breaks the truth or the trust, and somehow we end up feeding on each other. But that doesn't explain. I mean, people of privilege don't have any personal experience, I don't think, that drives them from their fellow man. All they have is, a bit of propaganda. But I suppose that's all you need. Even a movie can affect you in terms of making you like or dislike something. I suppose it certainly could condition you into a state of mind. So if you're, raised, with some sort of notions of what is causing any disruption to utopia, and you're able to put a face on it, even if it's just a bigoted lie. Maybe your brain goes with that. And so then you have the enemy. Or maybe it's just the nature, maybe it's just this reversion thing, the dogs in the pack. Maybe you just functionally revert to some kind of animal. Monkey see, monkey do, maybe that's all it is. The rich watch their parents exploit, and maybe that's all. I guess they love their parents, and so they love exploitation. I don't know. It seems like there should be more reason, how people rationalize the cheats exist. But that might be it. Might just be that simple. Defend the home team, and they see these people talking about fairness, as some sort of thieves. The commies are coming. Maybe that's why people were so hysterical about commies. Yeah. It's just a metaphor for anything that wants to oblige you to account for yourself. Anyway, that's a bit drifting off subject. John said we was drifting. So anyway, yeah, I like the romantic idea of the movie, of course. But it does illustrate too, for another one of my reactions is sometimes it's better to have your day of valor, to die a hero, than to live in mediocrity. There's a certain difficulty in living a life that matters for any kind of duration of time. As I imagine, it would give you an awful lot of time. It's like being in a war for a long time. Just to wear on you, wear you down. Just the day-to-day grind of it. Where you could have some sort of resolution and some more complete victory, even if it was just for a day. But yeah, just somehow terminating it, getting it over with, having an end, because it's going to end anyway. And the longer you drag it out, you're just going to you're going to end it on a weaker note. Bring up music, which is interesting. Yeah, you'll end on a weak note, and it seems preferable, not to go out on the weak note. From a place of fatigue and deterioration. Yeah. So that's just one of those things I sense. I have a feeling about life, in the sense that I don't think I would want to drag it out. But yeah, there's no. It's so easy. It's so easy. It's so hard to know the optimum circumstance unless it's imposed on you. It's hard to let it go. You do think there'll be even a better battle tomorrow, an even grander war to win. Yeah, so I guess that's part of it too. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, whether the war is just finding another grander pleasure to experience, whatever it is that's challenging you in your life. Yeah, there's always that perception that there's some greater purpose down there. Even when you have accomplishment, you're going to be hungry for something more. Needs another line. Needs a part two. Yeah. So we've been over that subject before. But, so anyway, I like the idea of reincarnation. But I don't like it as an explicit statement. I just like it as this idea of understanding that I have been here before. As a consciousness has struggled and fought and maybe felt my wounds, or felt, had a different, maybe the scars were different, but it was the same kind of tired animal, fighting just to get through another day and, do what they can, and that person has lived before, that thing has lived before. And so it's a reincarnation in that sense, a long connection through time, of a certain kind of sense of why, watching waste is it's probably a sense, a feeling that we don't have a word for that. That kind of grief when you see something wasted. Like you saw, 100 years ago, 200 years ago, an orchard burned down or some kind of thing that represented value, and you knew that it would have dire implications that it was gone. It was just waste that ruined it. That would be somebody would witness that, sense that, and feel that, see that, and have that, that lament, the lament. Well, anyway, that's all I'm talking about in terms of reincarnation, is that we relive the struggle and the pain, and that some of these perceptions of this should never have been, there's got to be some way to throw a stick into the gears so the next guy doesn't have to do it, so there doesn't have to be another person who's going to have to remake this statement, re-experience the cascade of years and months and minutes that have created a awareness that makes it so acute and biting and visceral. Yeah. Pretty much. So anyway, till the next time and such. Yeah, so bad.